Hi, this is KB. I have some extra messages I want to share with you a little between the full moon and the new moon, but it's pretty important to help you kind of understand what's happening right now. Um, so I'm going to try to go quickly through these because I just feel like laying around and watching movies today. Oh, but that's so not allowed, but that's what I'm keeping it real. And there's a storm coming through right now, so I wanted to let you know a little bit about what's going on right now. And one thing is that with Pluto moving direct, we're really seeing clear as day what we need to let go of in regards to things that have been kind of holding us back. And a lot of things, there's a big like yes no factor in this, so it's something where we like have not been saying yes to life in regards to things that have already happened previously to us. And because of those memories of those things happening, we're having this thing where we're going, no, 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 I can't do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't do that. Things like that. But it's really relating to, how it's just something else that we've taken on as the truth or as an ideal, or just something that we've been believing in, and those things are going to kind of come to you right now, realizing that, oh my gosh, you know, I've been saying that, and I don't really mean that, or like the old me didn't always say that, but now I'm saying these things and I don't really feel that way, and it's keeping me from happiness and it's keeping me from living my life fully. So there's things like that that are coming to you, and more than anything, you're going to be like, I know exactly what to do now. I know exactly what to implement. I know exactly what changes I need to make to kind of break down these walls that we've put up, and to open to more abundance and love and yes, and feeling like we're living life more fully. Whereas a lot of people can sit here and just be like, I don't feel like I'm living life. I don't feel like I'm having enough experiences. I don't feel like I'm sharing enough with people. I hear too from so many people that they just feel so isolated and they don't get out anymore, and they're in their cave and they're tucked away. And so right now a lot of those things are feeling very uncomfortable, but they're happening for you to see like what kind of changes you can make to kind of shift them a bit. And it doesn't have to be a big thing, but you will know in your body like what little changes you need to implement, and it can even start with just like saying something different, believing something different, kind of shifting your awareness like that. So that's a big one that's happening. There's also a really great thing that is, it's a layer thing, is kind of how it's described to me. So it's like, it's something that may not come all at once, but it very well may. It kind of depends on how potent each layer is within you, or kind of how many layers are covering up the truth. But things as of like that 26th of August, um, we are being given the full on confidence within ourselves of what we're here to do. So for some people, they're having it dropped like a load of bricks, and they're like, oh my gosh, I get it now. I get it. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I know exactly what my purpose is. And it's supposed to be happening like that. It's supposed to be happening in this way where we're being filled with extreme and utter confidence in what we're here to do. And it can come through another voice. It can come through just something just awakens in your heart where you are like, this is my thing. And what is happening is it's really going to be like completely and utterly filling you with confidence, where you're just like, I know now, there's no doubt, I know. And I wrote this thing to someone, and I was thinking it's going to be akin to something that's like how you wake up in the morning and you know you're supposed to brush your teeth. It's something where there's no question. It's just what you do. And this is what's going to be happening with us, and each one of us is going to be fully awakened to this. The time span, I do not know. It's an individual thing. I had one happen where I was just like driving, because that's kind of my biggest meditative time. It always has been. I'm one of those people who gets in the car and I'm like, do not talk to me. Leave me alone. Like, I want to get in a car and I just want to start dazing out the window, obviously, especially when I'm being driven. But, like, yeah, that's just like the moment I can do that, I'm like hooked up. And I've done it my whole life. So it's something where I don't really like to talk much in cars because that's my meditation time, you know. But I had it where I was told, you know, all this stuff that was going to happen, you know, all this stuff, and it was just, it just sat in me, and it was like, yeah. And it was funny because it is something I realized and have realized for over a decade, but it was kind of told to me as like, yes, this is how it's going to go down, this is what's going to happen, and it was like, yeah. And then, but it was funny, yeah, I did look back and I was like, I knew it. I've always known it. That's why I created this, because I knew that this would be the end result of it, and da-da-da. But I was even told things like, you know, you're just supposed to be this energy force out in the world. You're just supposed to go out into stores feeling love, feeling hope, spreading that to others, and like, that's one of my main jobs, you know? So I was like, cool, I can do that. I love that. But so it was just so cool because it was just like, and you'll know when it happens to you. You're just going to be like, I have total faith in myself. I'm not wavering anymore. I'm not like going back thinking, oh, I really can't do that. Oh, I'm not really that good. So there's going to be this like solidifying in what you're here to do. So that's one thing. There's another thing I'm trying to remember. I keep getting all these messages, and it's so cute now how everything comes as, tell them, because they know people are here watching, and they know these important people are here watching. So they're telling me that now. Tell them this too, tell them this. Okay, so one, I've forgotten this for like a month and a half now, so I'm so glad I'm doing it. One thing that whenever you're really frightened in these moments and feeling unsafe and ungrounded, you're supposed to make the sound of, it's not om is gone, it's home. You're supposed to put an H on it, and I've heard it over and over again, and what's great is I was talking to this medium, and she had said who did she say told her that? Or who comes through? I can't remember who she said comes through, but she always says home, and she kind of wondered why that was, and so it was really cool to have it confirmed through this other woman who's a medium. But when I first heard it, I was like, really? Are you sure? Is this just silly? But I keep hearing, tell them. So you're supposed to go home. And there's something really important with tones right now. So even allowing your body to express in whatever ways, whatever kind of sound it makes, and especially during these moments when you're feeling very uncertain and very ungrounded and very not safe and very like I'm fucking losing my fucking mind, because that's what's going to be happening right now. You're going to feel like you're fucking losing it, like you can't fucking take one more fucking thing, you know, and that's what's supposed to be happening. So don't, you know, buy into it or think it's the end of the world or you're going to have to be put away. Don't race to the psych drugs. We don't need you numb. This is really important. You might think, I can't deal with this, I need to escape, I need to take drugs, I need to da-da-da-da. You don't. It is going to be uncomfortable. It's happening to all of us. You're not going to, it's like, it's just uncomfortable. Nothing will satisfy you. But escaping like that diffuses your energy and diffuses your potency in the world. So no psych drugs, no drugs that are numbing you. We need you potent and real, you know, and if it means you're like, fuck this fucking shit, then say it. That's okay, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, with expressing this stuff. It needs to come out of your body. So anyway, you need to say home, and that is going to ground you to your star, or ground you so that you can connect your energy to your star seed families, believe it or not. So keep doing that one, You'll see quickly how it really does kind of take you to this other space. And as you do it too, there may be other sounds that want to come out of you, and do them. I don't know, I don't understand it, I'm just the messenger. So make any kind of sounds that are wanting to come out of your body. Don't judge them. There is a purpose for them. You may even feel called to touch certain parts of your body as you're doing it. So do that too. And okay, so with the energies right now, the best way I can explain this is, one, you know, kind of describing what I do. I'm someone who, and I've always done this, and it's really only in my life recently that I understand it enough to value it and understand there's something to it. But I've always been the person who, I always smell when something is out of order. I always smell the rat. Like, you can't pull anything over on me. Like, you can smile and be all like da da da, but I'm always kind of feeling these undercurrents in people, in situations, in the world. So I used to have to be like, what was that? And and I still do. Sometimes I just walk in a room and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What is this? What? Sometimes it'll take me a minute to get it, but I'm always feeling this stuff. And now I just know that there's something to it, so I keep kind of digging around until I get it. And if it means I have to leave, if it means I can't be there, I'll walk out. I don't care what anybody thinks. If it doesn't feel right to me, I don't want to be there. And I've even gone into towns. It was funny because when I went to Uray, I had that same thing where I was like, what is wrong with the people here? What is wrong? What is going on? What is going on? And it was finally I talked to this woman about it, and she explained that they were at the end of their holiday, or the end of their busy visitor tourist season. And everybody is just exhausted and bitchy. And she's like, yeah, none of us are really making eye contact with anybody anymore, and none of us are really kind of feeling friendly. She's like, don't judge us though, there's still friendly people. But it was until I finally talked to this woman. Like, I was just, like, everybody was so guarded, and you'd smile and they'd just look down, and I was like, what is going on? This is so weird. But it was funny, after I talked to that woman, then every person I manifested had that same kind of just alive and awesome energy. So it's like, once I finally was like, oh, that's what's going on, that's what's going on, that's what's going on. Because I was almost taking it personally, like, wait, what? Because if there's something that's undercover to be discovered, that is not obvious, I'm going to go nosediving right into it. I can't help it. I'm like, what is that? What is that? What is that? So anyway, with the energies that are, as I say, they come like waves towards our planet. And now I kind of understand more how it does really relate to the planets. But it doesn't relate so much with the old ways of how astrology has been interpreted. There's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of bad, and the planets do not intend anything bad. Like Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, nothing's bad there. We can interpret them the wrong way. We can look through our own victim consciousness filter and have a perception of them as being bad, but the end result is never something that is bad. It's never. So the learning is coming to us, and it's always something we have to work through and grow from and move through and whatever. But it's not bad. None of them are bad. The energies coming in are not bad. They can be troublesome if we don't want to have to deal with them, but that's as low of a vibration as we can really interpret them, because they're not. They're much higher vibrating than we are, and that's probably why they too can sometimes not feel good in our body if we're not matching with what they're trying to share with us. So anyway, I feel the energies as they're coming towards us, and it's basically akin to, like, if you can imagine, like when you feel like it's going to rain and you go outside and you're like, oh, I can smell that rain's coming. So that's kind of what every sense in my body is alert to when I'm out and about. And I would say it's only recently that I understood that those energies do correlate with astrology, which is perfect that I was already studying it. So, it was a natural, kind of evolution of the two, energy and astrology. So, that's kind of how I feel these things. So I also want you to, I've been thinking I need to put a lot of these learnings into a book so that you can easily come to them. But it's good to go back to videos, especially even like the one before, because I'll usually be talking about what is about to come. I'll usually feel it before it comes. So the last one was really about this heated war energy that's going to be pushing our buttons, and I talked about how to, handle it and do it in the most high vibrating way, and to not be so triggered by the feeling that you need to mirror that and shoot it right back at them. So I kind of talked about that already, so you can go back and watch that. That would be a good thing. But basically, there is an enormous, unevolved, masculine war energy that is doing everything in its power to regain its solidified position on this planet. And basically, it has had a solidified position on this planet for as long as, I don't know history things, so, but for a really, really, really long time. The feminine has been subdued, the feminine has been demeaned, put down, and stripped of its power, raped of its power. And then the feminine just at some point realized, oh, it is a lesser being, and the masculine just rose to this power. And that's why, and I mean and I definitely mean more the unevolved masculine, the more like not for the good masculine, the one that is one wins at the expense of another, the one that is about depleting everything, the one that's everything like corporate minded, everything that's about just like, you know, a certain group winning at the expense of others, everything that's like racially inequality, you know, anything like that, where it's just because the love, the feminine, is about take care of all and nurture all and love all and sustainability. The feminine is about sustainability. The unevolved masculine is about fuck that shit. I'll take what I fucking want. I will mow down the forests, and I won't plant more seeds. I'll just keep on mowing down. As long as there's some to mow down, I'm going to mow it down. There's not that thought of, oh, what about generations to come? You know, I remember someone who, with the logging in, I guess it's like Washington or something, and you know, he was saying how sad it was that all these things were cut down, but then nothing was replanted. If something was replanted, it would be a bit of a different story. But, you know, and I've heard too, like, all that stuff goes over to China, or like the majority of all that stuff goes over to China to make this cheap, whatever, anyway. That's, you know, there's so much to that. I don't want to get into that. But so that's an example of the, you know, unevolved masculine, is just thinking about myself now, taking care of just me right now. So with this new energy of a polar shift that I've talked about, where our past is more like the sandcastle and the water can just wash over it, and we're choosing to rebuild it. It used to be something that was very solid and it was very masculine, and now it's not solid, and the feminine is actually rising more to power, and it makes the masculine energy very upset. And one of the things that we are being tested right now is extreme and utter provocation, and it's actually going to come for a while. It's a very, very strong red energy, and it's like, it's coming as far as I can see it. I can't even see an end to it right now. So it is going to be something that is going to be a daily thing for us right now, to not be triggered and to not blow our fuses and to not give back exactly what is coming to us. And it will be hard. And you know, and it's funny, I talked in the last video about the mafia aspect that some people have in their charts. I do. It's the pit bull. I call it the pit bull. And what's really funny too is it's like almost every single chart I do now has this. So it's kind of funny that all those people are finding me. Like, they're like, they need me to be the person to explain who they are to them, because I have that in me. But it makes for a very deep person. They're deep thinkers. They, like, you can't fool them. They're going to feel what's really going on. But one thing too is that they can rip you to shreds if you hurt them in a certain way that is a trigger for them. Like, for me, it's really with, like, I have a really strong trigger when anybody messes with anybody that I love. Like, I'm kind of like the most perfect person to go to if you're having problems with your boyfriend. You know, I will support you. It's kind of bad in a way. Like, it's especially bad if one friend comes to me about another friend, because I'll be like, she did what? You know, I have a really strong protective defense of my peoples and anybody I care about and anybody that's an underdog. So it opens me to a lot of people where I feel like I need to protect. But I've had it with, like, with my dog. Like, I live in the most amazing, beautiful space, but the people, you know, and you're not around a lot of people here. So, like, my landlord has 5 acres here, and then next to him, the guy has like 50 acres. And then on the other side of us, I think they have 5 acres, and then the next plot is like 2 acres, and then the next plot is like 50 acres. And that 50 is the one I want to get, the one down the way. But anyway, so the people on both sides of us hate Moon Bear. Like, they hate her so much. I've had threats where they will kill her if she comes on the property, that they will slash my tires, all this kind of like really hateful, horrible stuff over my dog. And it's what's weird too is that they one of the things I just found out is they always say about it's her eyes, because she has blue eyes with a black face, and they think it's like demonic, evil eyes. I'm like, they're beautiful. But anyway, so I was out with friends, and they were telling me how the one person who's on the other side of the property was complaining about her to them. And I don't even know how they knew each other, but it got me so pissed off. Like, I wanted to like kill this woman. Like, I wanted to like take a gun and kill her. And I'm like, you can't do that. You know, that's just like not okay. You're gonna end up in jail. You won't be able to do these videos. All these people, they're counting on you, you know. But it was so crazy how like the feeling was of such extreme anger that normally I would have been like, whatever, you're fucking crazy, you know, whatever. But I was like, ah. So we're really filled with having our buttons pushed, and pushed to the first degree where you're just going to be boiling with anger. And what you have to understand is this is going to be that red energy that's coming for a while, but I almost feel like it's a test. It's a test. It's a test. It is a test. And it's all about not buying into that, not getting worked up with that, not combating it and coming back with that energy, because the more we do, the more that anger, the more unevolved masculine energy can run rampant in our world. So it is really important that you just let it go as much as you can. Try to send love into it. You know, I even think it's so funny that I live in the best place I've ever lived. I have the best landlord who's my family. And on both sides of me, though, I have people who hate me and Moon Bear. You know, what are the chances? All the other people in the neighborhood love Moon Bear. You know, she visits them every day and gets treats from everybody. But the two people that are the closest energy to where I live do not want me living here, do not want my dog here, and very well could kill her, which I so hope not, because I think about what I would do if something like that happened. But I'm always kind of just hoping she's safe, keeping her safe. But yeah. So every one of you is going to be fully tested on how cool you can stay and how much you can just let it go and not buy into it, and just not even try to like solve it, because it's, you know, I can also say that the two people who do have these problems with Moon Bear are some of the most unhappy, unattractive, energetically victim, hateful people that even live in this whole area. That's where too I'm like, what are the chances that they're both sandwiching us when me and my landlord are so positive and so about karma and so about love and so about creativity, and like, what are the chances that they're sandwiching us? But then again, I guess it's just, you know, that's life, you know, and polarity. We got polarity all around us. But you know, so it's just really important that you do not get worked up, and I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard, but Venus is right here too, with the kind of planetary movements that are trying to hold us in that love vibe, trying to help us not get too worked up about what is happening. And like I say, there's always something for us to look at in this. So we're not victims in this. So there's things for us to see, but a lot of it is just really needing to let it go and not feel like you have to solve it and or interpret it, and just kind of hope for the best. Most things right now are just hope for the best. Visualize the best happening. Try to think on the love, and then on top of with feeling so uncomfortable, it's a difficult time. Or I don't really want to put it out like that, but it's not our best moments right now of funland and everything's great. And this is just to be accepted and just kind of trusting that a lot is falling away. A lot that is also falling away is trying to hold on for dear life, and that's the unevolved, masculine, hurtful, me energy. Only me, it's only me, it's only me, I can't even see your perspective, it's only me, and me. So, and that's kind of surrounding us from all corners, which I guess that's why that's happening, huh? So, also too, and I've talked about this a lot already, it does feel a little more extreme right now, but the wave where you are fine, everything's great, I feel safe, I'm getting so much done, da da da. And then out of the blue, either you're triggered by something or just an uneasy feeling comes over you, and then you feel scared and you don't know how you're going to do this, and da da da. And basically all I can tell you is move through the wave. Nothing's constant right now. The only way to really get through it is to completely and utterly surrender into it and trust. So it's going to take you by storm. It's, and it's just, it seems like it's been like this for weeks, though. I'm kind of like, feel like we should be getting used to it. It's just great, and then it's so not. And then you're looking back going, what just happened? I just felt great. I just knew I could do this. But kind of understand it's a little bit, too, with that Pluto moving direct. And he has really brought a lot to our attention over the past several months about what is not working, about what we need to let go of, about what we need to upgrade over, because a lot of this is needing to let go of things in order to upgrade in this better way and more honoring way. So just kind of trust that there's major work going on, but be hopeful and expectant about that other end of the energy that is really going to be helping you to solidify and be like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm here to do. I can do this. I'm going to be able to make a living at this. Whatever it is, that thing that you're here to do for the planet, you're going to be knowing it full on. And it's going to feel great, because then honestly everything else outside of you isn't really going to matter. Because there is something so strong with us in this generation right now of knowing what our purpose is. So that is going to start coming to you. And I do a reading too where I talk about your soul's purpose, and what I've discovered from doing them, some people it'll come through as like, you're gonna do da 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 da, it's like a sentence almost. But then other people, like me even, it's several different elements, and what I've seen is everything I have done in my life is part of those elements. So I have a bigger freedom of how I can express this. Some people have a very singular thing that they're doing, but most people just have these specific elements that then can be applied into everything that they're supposed to be doing. And when I do look back, even doing food service, which is what I've done a lot, because I've even now I really miss living in San Francisco and working, especially there's this cafe in Pacific Heights I used to work at, and just the carefreeness of it. It comes to me a lot now, just clocking in and clocking out and being free, and go out to the beach and smoke a joint every day after work, and it was just, I'm missing that carefree life, but with not so many responsibilities, but all the elements of what I'm even doing here, I did there, and in every job I can see all these things that are a part of my purpose show up in every job I do. So so when it did come through to me what mine was, I was like, oh, well, yeah, one, that's what I'm doing, but that's what I've always been doing. That's so cool. So, yeah. So, I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah, that's kind of our main concern right now is what is our purpose? What am I here to do? What am I here to do? What am I here to do? And fortunately, that's what the powers that be and the energies that are coming to the planet and the ones that were activated on that August 26th or the 25th late that night, that shifting that happened, those little grains of sand in a way are filling us bit by bit. And it is those grains of sand that will eventually be full, depending on our timeline, where we're just like, this is what I'm here to do, period. I don't need to question it anymore, and I'm doing it. Awesome. So that's the flip side of these energies, is it is kind of shifting out all these things that were wrong and not working for us and don't feel best, and also showing us where we've been putting up these walls that we don't really need to have around us anymore, that are actually keeping us from saying yes to life. So the no is falling away, and the yes is coming more prevalent in our minds now. So I'm going to stop there. I just wanted to do this quick video. I will be back for the new moon readings. I don't know, the first week of October. It's coming soon. 4th, I think. So I will see you then, and just don't be triggered. And say home. Whenever you're triggered, just keep saying home. Just keep saying it over and over, and whatever else wants to come out of you, just keep saying it. All right. Okay. You have a beautiful day. It's going to be okay. And yes, it does feel like you're losing your mind, and you can't handle one more thing, but you can, and this is all part of it. So just keep living in the future and seeing how you would like it to turn out. And then the more you can see that and believe in it and dream it, the quicker it can magnetize to you. But the more you sit there and go, think about how much you want revenge and how much you want to hurt that person and how much you hate that person or whatever, how dare they talk to you like that or whatever. The more you think of that, the more you keep that one growing and expanded. So that's what we're learning right now, is to not expand that stuff that really pushes our buttons and triggers us and does not feel like home. Okay? All right. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Yay.